Hey everybody, it's Lou Mangello from WDW Radio, and welcome to the November 3rd, the second edition of the all-new WDW NewsCast, a live, interactive Disney news show where you get to be part of the conversation. This week, I am obviously not in the home studio, as you can see. This is traditionally known as Jersey Week, where all of the schools in New Jersey are off for teacher conferences, and many, many, many families head on down to Walt Disney World to enjoy some time in the parks. Maybe even a teacher or two might sneak out. So it's only appropriate that since everybody from New Jersey is in Walt Disney World, that I come to New Jersey. So I'm coming to you live this week from the Menlo Park Mall, and I had to bring a little bit of Disney into the location. So as you can see behind me, that's the D right there for the Disney store. Wasn't able to broadcast from inside, so I thought we would do it from outside. So I want to welcome you back again to this second edition of the WDW Newscast, where I'm not only going to report on the news, but I want to watch the live chat room to see how you guys respond, to be asked and answer some questions along the way. Yes, I see some of you are already talking about the Times Square Disney store. That would have been the perfect backdrop tonight. Unfortunately, just a day or two early. Isn't quite open yet, but we will have a report from the Times Square store, I promise, coming soon. Again, welcome to everybody who is in the chat room. Let's get right into it. It's actually a relatively quiet week in Walt Disney World news, but with Halloween being over on October 31st, of course, November 1st means the holidays are in full swing at Walt Disney World. And I want to tell you about two holiday tours that Walt Disney World's offering, Yuletide Fantasy and Holiday Delights. They are led by facilitators or instructors from the Disney Institute and gives you a really in-depth backstage look at holiday attractions and events. You kind of get a little look behind the curtain at what makes all the magic. Let's talk about Yuletide Fantasy first. This lets you explore the origins of holiday traditions for cultures around the world. So you get to go, obviously, to World Showcase at Epcot, where you're going to visit Germany, Italy, and Japan. You're going to see how each of those countries and those cultures communicates their own version of the holiday story. You then also go to the Magic Kingdom. You learn about the origins of holiday traditions celebrated in the United States, because Christmas isn't the only holiday we celebrate here. And then you go backstage, and this is the really exciting part, to holiday services, where all the decorations for Walt Disney World, the cruise lines, and all the other properties on the East Coast are managed. You get to really see how the tens of thousands of decorations are stored, brought out, and used. This is a 3.5-hour tour. It operates twice a day, once in the morning, one in the afternoon. Reasonable cost of $84 per hour. But if the holidays in Walt Disney World are really your thing, the Holiday D-Lights, D/Lights tour is the one to take. It's a 5-hour tour. That takes place in the evening. This one's $199. And this, again, gives you the visits to not only Epcot and the Magic Kingdom, but Disney's Hollywood Studios as well. And in each of the parks, again, you're given this interpretation of how the holidays are celebrated around the world and, of course, in the parks. You start off with a private viewing area over at the Candlelight Processional. You then go to the Magic Kingdom, where you see Cinderella's Holiday Wish, learn about the lights on Cinderella Castle, and then move over to Disney's Hollywood Studios, where you get a dinner and a special treat over right in the middle of the Osborne family spectacle of lights. And again, you get to go backstage to see how the support services work to implement these things, because it really is a year-round process. Again, both these tours open to kids 16 ages and older. You can call 407 WDW Tour for more information. I've actually never had a chance to experience either of these two tours, but I'm curious if anyone in the chat room maybe has taken either Holiday Delights or the Yuletide Fantasy tours in the past. Or if not, is this something that sounds exciting to you? I see some people saying, yes, you get to go backstage. It sounds cool. D-Lights, it sounds awesome. Need to play the lotto. Yeah, at $199, it is a little pricey, but I think $84 per person is pretty reasonable for the Yuletide Fantasy. Again, because you do go backstage, as Disney is saying, that's why they don't allow kids. That's why it's ages 16 and up for either or both of these tours. No, and yes, how's transportation provided? I believe that Disney provides transportation through buses or shuttles when they take you to both the onstage and the backstage areas, and obviously in between the parks as well. People would definitely like to try it. Sounds excellent, maybe in a couple years. Price seems to be an issue for some people. Would like to see one in the Animal Kingdom. Becky is saying the tours may seem expensive, but they are so much fun. Really worth it to get a sneak peek behind the curtain. Yeah, I think that really is the appeal. You know, getting to see the Osborne lights and Cinderella Castle was great, but getting to go backstage and talk to the people and see the massive operation that it takes and the storage unit that they have for all these decorations is something special. I think we actually did an article in Celebrations Magazine last year from somebody who did have a chance to participate in one of those. For more information, you can call 407 WDW Tour. I'll also put a link up on the website. You go to disneyworld.com/tours-and/experiences. Again, I will put it out there. I think this is something, I talk about this all the time. I think that the holidays in Walt Disney World makes it a destination event. I think it's something that if you can, many people do go to Walt Disney World during the holidays specifically. Even if you go during other times of year, I think it's so different that it gives you another reason to go back. And if you've done the holidays in the past, this might be a nice way to plus up one of your next trips. Staying in Walt Disney World, they announced just a few months ago the new campaign, Let the Memories Begin. And as part of that, I want to let you know that if you're a member of the active or retired U.S. military, you can let that campaign begin right away because Disney has special offers for military personnel. So you can sort of make your own memories with your family and friends. They have special offers on theme park tickets and accommodations. There's promotional tickets with park hopper options, water park fun, and more. There's also discounts on resorts. There's also obviously the Shades of Green as well. I'm going to put a link in the show notes this week where you can find out if you are in the military, where you can purchase tickets, or if you are active military, you can go to a participating U.S. military sales outlet or call 407-939-7830. I don't know if we have any viewers or who are in the chat room now who are in the military. Okay, KT Candy says, yeah, excited about military discounts. This is something I think a lot of people in the military should definitely take advantage of. I think many maybe don't realize that are there. We did do a show last year, I'll link up at WDWRadio.com, where we talked about a lot of the special offers and the special opportunities for those who are in the active or retired military in Walt Disney World. I love the fact of seeing Disney sort of taking care of our own and taking care and appreciating the sacrifices and the efforts of the military and their family. KT Kennedy is also saying you can get these over at Shades of Green. If anybody here in the chat room, a member of the military, had a chance to participate in some of these special offers, PJ Lawson, I do believe it's only for United States military only, not UK military. Arizona Disney Dan saying to check out your local MWR. They still do the flag ceremony over at the Magic Kingdom. Yes, I did the segment with Mitch Brannon. If somebody wants to link up in the chat room for exactly the show episode, that would be great. I don't have it handy. But yeah, I think it's great that Disney does sort of honor and take care of the military in this way. And again, visit WDWRadio.com. Do a search for military, and you'll find the episode where we talked about it at length. Moving over to the Disney Cruise Line, because I really think that the cruise is sort of an extension of a Walt Disney World vacation. I did have to mention that just a couple of days ago, the Disney Dream, after 20 months of construction, went out and had their float-out ceremony at the Meyer Werft shipyard on October 30th. That is a special maritime event. It celebrates the ship's final stages of construction. They put some of those final touches on, do a lot of testing. At that point, a lot of people in the chat room excited about the WDW Radio cruise coming on. I did a blog post earlier in the week where I posted some photos and some videos for the float out of the Disney Dream. I also posted a great time-lapse video that a listener sent me that's on the site and in YouTube, so you can sort of see the construction from the webcam in the Meyer Werft shipyard. In additional Disney Dream news, they finally unveiled the lineup of entertainment. Headlining the repertoire is going to be a new show called Disney's Believe. That's an original stage show, which I believe has about 20 different musical numbers, about an equal number of Disney characters. That should be really cool. Other productions include The Golden Mickeys, which is, I know, a big fan favorite, There's also going to be Villains Tonight, which I have yet to see, but I hear nothing but good things about. And in addition to the nightly stage shows, there's also going to be the Pirates in the Caribbean party night, but this time it's going to have 3 different deck events. The first is going to start with Mickey's Pirates in the Caribbean. That's going to be the interactive show on deck with the Disney characters. Later, Captain Jack Sparrow is going to come out and unleash Club Pirate, which is a high-tech open-air dance party, which I will probably not be dancing in. And finally, something new again is going to be Buccaneer Blast, which is a brand new fireworks spectacular featuring more fireworks than ever before, synchronized to an all-new musical score created just for that show. I see a lot of people in the chat room very, very excited about the Disney Dream. Obviously, we are all going to be cruising on the Dream on February 27th, 2011. There still is availability. You can get more information over at WDWRadioCruise.com. But I have a question for the people who are watching either live here in the chat room, or if you're watching later on YouTube or maybe in iTunes. If you haven't cruised on a Disney cruise yet, why not? What is it about the Disney cruise that maybe you haven't done yet? Is it the price? Is it something else? Is it just the idea of cruising doesn't seem to appeal to you? So if you're not coming, or if you're not going to, you haven't been on a cruise yet, I'm curious as to maybe why you haven't. And if you have cruised, what keeps you coming back? What is it about the Disney cruise that I think separates it from so many other cruise lines? Some people are saying cost. Certainly cost is definitely an issue. I think, again, too, this is one of those experiences where the cost might be a little bit more, but it is definitely worth the experience. And I think if it comes down to, well, do I take my family on a 7-day Walt Disney World trip again, or do I go on a 4-day cruise on the Dream? I would probably opt for going on the Dream and trying a cruise out, because everything is included. Everything is right there. You get to visit multiple ports without having to go anywhere. You don't have to worry about carrying cash or driving anywhere. It's not even about, obviously, riding attractions. It's about sort of taking that Disney magic and bringing it out to sea. A lot of people talk about it not being in the parks, but after all the talk about the Dream, I want to check it out now. Some people saying, no, they'd rather stay deluxe than cruise. I think for the people who have cruised, I think many of them often come back again and again because of how incredible that experience is. I can be at Walt Disney World for a week or take a 3-night cruise. Yeah, but again, Kathy, too, you've got that sort of very different experience. You've got a lot of different entertainment. The dining is all included, which, of course, I think is great. And again, too, you also get to visit multiple ports like Castaway Cay, which to me is probably the highlight of the cruise. Although with the Disney Dream coming out, I'm going to try and stay on board as much as possible. So, as I said, this was actually a very slow week in Walt Disney World news. There really was not a lot going on. That's why I wanted to see some of your opinions in the chat room, especially things about the cruise. Obviously, people are talking about the aqueduct. Disney 05 makes a great point about doing a combination land and sea package, maybe a 3 or 4-night Disney cruise, combined it with a Walt Disney World vacation. I actually like doing the cruise first, going to Walt Disney World after, because I think that coming off the cruise and going back home sometimes is a little exhausting when you get to come back and enjoy a couple of leisurely days in the parks. That seems to be the combination that I think works out best. Some people, again, are talking about the cruise pricing. And again, too, I think you also have to look and see maybe a 7-day cruise is not the best way to start out. Try a 3-day cruise, and also look to different times of year and different promotions they have. And if you've sailed on a cruise before, they have sort of if you sign up again while you're on the cruise, you can come back at a marked discount. Amy Falk-Peter, I'm not saying you shouldn't do the park before the cruise. I just enjoy going on the cruise first and then sort of relaxing a little bit on the back end in Walt Disney World, sort of easing my way back into real life, as it were. Yeah, a lot of people seem to be agreeing. WDW Genius says, yeah, cruise first, then Walt Disney World. Big Yanks is mentioning, is again, I'm here in front of the Disney store, that the Times Square Disney store is supposed to be getting a soft opening tomorrow, which is November 4th. I know they have a big launch and grand opening this weekend. Is anybody going to the Times Square store in New York City this weekend? And yes, Kurt from Illinois, you can relax at the Walt Disney World parks. It's not about riding rides. It's about dining, of course, with some relaxation and rides thrown in. 4 days are a great option. You do have a day at sea to explore the ship. Yeah, that's what Becky, I'm looking forward to most is that day at sea to explore the Disney dream, because this is all new to all of us, so we really don't know what to expect. Angelo and Jelainton, people watching on Main Street at the Bakery Relaxing, you are of the same mindset as I am. I love getting to the Magic Kingdom early, getting a cinnamon bun or a ham and cheese croissant, or often both at the Main Street Bakery, stop laughing, and then just sort of people watching and watching the parade go by early morning on Main Street. So, someone do a second cruise in January. Will the fantasy be identical? D-Duck 71, I think it's going to be a sister ship. I think there will be some, much like the Magic and Wonder, they're very similar, but there are some names that are different of some of the clubs and some of the restaurants and things like that. Sandwich Park, Cruise Park. So Fuse MP is doing Park, Cruise, Park. You get the best of both worlds. Absolutely. That is, if you can do it, that is the way to experience a Walt Disney World vacation. A few days in the parks with a cruise to break things up. WDW Genius is smelling those cinnamon rolls now. O'Tisney likes to cruise, then parks, then take another cruise. Listen, Scott O'Tisney, I know people I've seen them do the back-to-back cruise where they've stayed on for 14 days in a row. Must be nice. Must be nice. So, Bonnie, are we going to do a cruise in the Fantasy as well? Not sure. I have to get through 2011 first before I start looking to 2012. But who knows? Let's see how the dream goes, and who knows? Maybe we'll head back onto the Fantasy at a later time. I'm now booking myself out to like 2013, I think. So, box before and after cruise, Disney cruise, then WDW, then another cruise. Then we might as well go to Tokyo then as well. Sorry. So yeah, I know a lot of people who are coming on the Dream are doing both the land and sea package. Some people are coming early for a couple of days. I know we have a party the night before, going to go on the cruise and then go home. Other people can do it the opposite way. So I will be there before and after. I'll have to be there with, again, the things that I have to do. So, but yeah, again, this was a quiet week in Walt Disney World news. There wasn't really a lot going on. That's going to happen from time to time. We're going to have weeks where there's a lot of news coming out. Some weeks maybe not so much, but I certainly invite you guys to come by, stay in the chat room, talk amongst yourselves over coffee, but also come by the WDW Radio channel over on YouTube where I'll post these videos, subscribe, add me as a friend there, and I want you guys to engage in the discussion about some of the news topics there as well.
Hello, everybody!
And there's my family. We were just talking about cruising. Are you guys excited to go on the cruise or what?
Yes! So excited. We're going to have a ball. We have to go potty. Hello, back.
And listen, again, this is only the second time I'm doing the WDW Newscast. This is very much an experiment as we go forward. So I certainly want to hear your comments, your suggestions, and your feedback. If you have any of those, please email me at lou@wdwradio.com. And there's also going to be times that we're going to do these on sort of a spur-of-the-moment thing, as maybe some breaking news comes out. So in addition to every Wednesday at 7:30 Eastern, if something big does happen, I might decide to do a WDW Newscast right away. It could be in the middle of the afternoon. It could be later in the evening. So the best way to find out, again, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow me over on Twitter. I'm twitter.com/Lou Mongello, or on the Facebook page. That's facebook.com/WDW Radio. Again, I certainly welcome and would appreciate any thoughts, any feedback that you might have. Who knows where I'm going to be next week? I could be back at the studio. I could be in Walt Disney World or somewhere else. The mind is racing. Non-Olga over here is coming up with ideas as we're talking. Jimmy Kenny wants me to bring the box people to Mongello's restaurant. So, but listen, I at least tried to get you near a Disney store. I tried to get you as much Disney as possible. I tried to actually get into the store. It wasn't able to happen. The guy behind the counter was a little frightened of me walking around with a laptop, I think. So, but yeah, again, what we'll do is we're going to end the newscast now. I appreciate you guys coming by and watching as always. I invite you to come by again next week, but I am going to leave the chat room open. I'll stay and chat for a little while longer. Again, for those people who miss the newscast every week, they are going to be on YouTube. Again, I want you to come by, subscribe there. Tell your friends about it as well. Again, please help spread the word about the newscast, because this is something new. It is something that, like I said, very much in the testing and experimenting. What do they call it? The test and adjust phase when Imagineering hands it off to me. So I hope you guys enjoy this. I love always seeing you guys in the box and engaging in this sort of two-way conversation as opposed to just me presenting the news to you on the show each and every week. Obviously, hopefully you guys also subscribe to the WDW Radio Show in iTunes. Just go to iTunes and do a search for WDW Radio. And you want to know who the mystery guest is? The mystery guest doesn't want to come on camera. Her agent is just such a pain in the neck to deal with. It's a surprise guest who you may see at a future time, who is sporting the WDW Radio gear, and I got a big kudos to that. So, again, thank you guys for coming. I am going to hang out in the chat, but I am going to end the recording for this edition of the WDW Newscast. Please come by next week at 7:30 Eastern, and my brother is walking by. Before we end this, can you just come here for a second? And this was the blessing and the curse of doing this in front of the Disney store, because there's not one, not two. So I hope you guys bought your stock in Disney Company before my mom came in, because yeah. So are there Tron toys in here for me? I mean, collectibles? I hope so. All right, guys, listen, I'm going to end the recording for this week. Thanks again for watching the WDW Newscast. Please help spread the word. See ya.